Thanks to the Korean car blog, we now have evidence that Kia is in development of an electric pickup truck, and it's now hitting the streets here in the United States. And what's surprising is it looks more familiar than you would think. So if you want to find out more, then stay tuned. With wet spring weather well on its way, now is a great time to purchase some all-weather floor mats from today's sponsor, Ioniq. Ioniq is a Maryland-based company selling high-quality, laser-measured floor mats at a great price. They're made from TPE, which is a mixture of rubber and plastic, so they offer traction and flexibility as well as strength when you need to remove them, so you're not going to dump their contents all over your floor. If you've ever owned floor mats from, say, WeatherTech, then you know those are made from a much harder material that tends to warp over time. Not with Ioniq. They also feature a simple and classy looking pattern with a lip around the entire footwell so liquids won't spread around and get on your carpeting. I've been using their front and rear floor mats as well as trunk and rear seat liners for over a year now, and they've held up admirably. So these floor mats have gotten the Ioniq seal of approval, and when anybody asks which floor mats to buy, I always recommend Ioniq. Available on their website or Amazon through the links in the description. Hey everyone, it's the Ioniq Guy. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. My name is Corbin and I cover everything related to Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis electric vehicles. So a couple days ago, the Korean car blog shared some spy photos taken in the United States of what appears to be a fully electric mid-size pickup truck from Kia. They have shared photos of basically around the entire vehicle. There's no sign of an exhaust system, so it's got to be electric. So let's start out by talking about Kia, Hyundai, and pickup trucks. So as of the filming of this video in the United States, Hyundai and Kia do not offer a full-size pickup truck. Now, Hyundai does offer the Santa Cruz, which is more comparable to, say, like a Honda Ridgeline. It's kind of a smaller Tacoma-sized pickup truck, and it's built on a unibody frame, so it's more like a car than it is like a truck, other than it having a tailgate and a bed. But for a lot of people, they don't want a full-size pickup truck. They don't want an F-150, they don't want a Silverado, they don't want a Ram 1500. These trucks are no longer small. Back when I was a kid in the early 90s, I remember pickup trucks were still relatively small back then. Granted, I was smaller, so they seemed pretty big, but looking back, they were relatively small by today's standards. Today's pickup trucks are just way too big in my opinion. Now, me personally, I've never owned a pickup truck. I don't drive a pickup truck. I don't have a need for a pickup truck. But something smaller like the Hyundai Santa Cruz has always kind of piqued my interest a little bit. You do have like an in-bed trunk, so you can store things in there without them being in the bed, getting hit with rain and snow and whatever. And all around, just a much more easy to maneuver vehicle. Not going to be completely horrible on gas mileage compared to a full-size pickup truck, but just something that you could live with more on a day-to-day basis and not have a bunch of excess that you're never going to use. We already know that Kia is about to release a full-size pickup truck in Australia. We don't 100% know about the United States market, but it is called the Tasman, which makes sense because Tasmania is an island off of Australia. We kind of get the idea of what it's going to look like. And it is a big, brawny looking pickup truck. It's going to fit in perfectly with the likes of the F-150 and the other full sizes. There is currently not a smaller to mid-size electric pickup truck for sale in the United States, unless you kind of count the Rivian R1T or the Tesla Cybertruck. But those are both very expensive trucks as they stand today, so they're not really affordable. So in regards to an electric pickup truck from either of these brands, it's been pretty much radio silence until now. Thanks to the Korean car blog, we now have spy photos of Kia's electric pickup truck. Now the first thing you're going to notice here on the front end is the headlights. They look very similar to that of the EV9. It's a very similar angular accent light just like on the EV9. Now going down to the sheet metal there, you can see that bright blue paint. That's basically the same exact color that's available on the EV9. Now moving back to the side mirrors, they look identical to the EV9. The A-pillar, that black glossy section right next to the windshield, also very similar to the EV9. It almost looks like they took the front half of an EV9 and put it on a pickup truck. And I don't think that's a bad thing because I think the EV9 is a fantastic looking vehicle. Even down below at the air intake, the radar sensor also looks like it's straight off of an EV9. It's that trapezoid shape there in the front. Now obviously these wheels here are completely different from anything we've seen on the EV9. So here's where it gets a little interesting. Looking at it from the side, the paint on the car on the sides and the roof is all a dull kind of gray color. So the front bumper is blue like an EV9, the roof and the sides appear to be gray. This is almost turning into sort of a Frankenstein vehicle here. So Who really knows if this is actually a production intent vehicle? This could totally just be a test vehicle and they're just fitting all sorts of random parts they have laying around together. You can see along the rocker panels on the side, it looks like it's completely missing them. There's no plastic cladding down below. It's just bare sheet metal. And then looking at the tail end, I'm definitely seeing the Hyundai Santa Cruz there. So if you look at the way the light looks here, it kind of looks like a hammer, the head of a hammer, and then the handle is going towards the center of the tailgate. If you put that side by side with the taillights of the Hyundai Santa Cruz, they almost look exactly the same. So I don't really know what's going on here, but it's pretty cool to say the least. Just like the Hyundai Santa Cruz, you have those corner steps in the corner to get in and out of the truck bed. Now looking at the back from a different angle, I'm noticing what looks to be an air canister for storing compressed air, which would lead me to believe that this truck is being tested with an air suspension. And basically that allows you to adjust the height of the vehicle on the fly. So if you haven't already seen a bunch of videos on the Cybertruck, it can do that very quickly too. Like we're talking like within a minute, it can jack up the ride a few inches or down a few inches. So that would be really cool because I don't really know of any other Hyundai or Kia that has an air suspension. And this truck looks like it's going to have pretty damn good ground clearance to begin with. It's kind of interesting that it bears zero resemblance to the Kia Tasman gas-powered pickup truck that they're about to release. You would think that they would kind of have both of these models kind of just merged together, have one with an electric powertrain, have one with a gas powertrain, but it seems like they're going two completely different paths here. So what do you guys think? Are you interested in a Kia EV9 pickup truck? I think a lot of people would buy into that idea. People really like the look of the EV9. If you just basically turn it into a pickup truck, I think that could be a big seller for Kia. But anyway, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. Check out my store at ioniqguy.com. I just added a bunch of new items, a lot of different cup holder enlargers and cup holder doublers for the front, so you can have twice as many cup holders for the front passengers in the Ioniq 5. Also, cup holder enlargers for the back seat armrest that now can accommodate up to a 3.5-inch water bottle as opposed to just a 3-inch. So check those out if you're interested. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.